Hey, what's up, guys? Run a Bunch here, bringing you another installment of the most under the radar sports betting and sports talk show on YouTube. Guys, let's go ahead and get right into this packed Monday slate of games we have. My first picks for today are going to be in the Elite Eight of the NCAA basketball tournament. I have one pick for today, and then I have two picks for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get into the pick for tonight. All right, guys. So my first pick for NCAA basketball for the next 2 days of the Elite Eight is Oregon State Beavers and the Houston Cougars to go under 129 points. Now, my reasoning for this, Oregon State plays a lot like Syracuse, just without the 2-3 zone. They're a very defensive-minded team. So this game to me kind of just, smells like a repeat of what we just had with Syracuse and Houston. And Syracuse and Houston only scored about 110 points. I think it was 62-48 was the final score. I expect that, maybe not necessarily that big of a margin of victory for Houston. I don't know. But, I expect that under to hit again. Houston, like I said, one of the best defensive teams in the entire country, probably I would say maybe the best team left in the tournament at defense. Hopefully, maybe USC could prove that wrong. I don't know, but Houston definitely a top two team in terms of defense left in the tournament. They allowed Syracuse to only 48 points in the entire game, and Syracuse shot like 30% from the field, and that is mostly because of Houston's defense. Syracuse is a pretty decently shooting team. I kind of figured old Buddy Buckets would kind of cool off a little bit, but I didn't expect like a 12-point outing or whatever he had. So I would say that was probably partially because of Houston as well. So I expect this game to go under. Most places here have it at that 129 and a half line. If you can get it at like 130, that would probably be the best case scenario for you, but it's 129 and a half. I would try to get that while you can. So guys, moving on to tomorrow. All these games are late, by the way, so don't worry about that. They all start at 7:15 or like 10 p.m., so don't worry about time. So my first pick for tomorrow is USC Trojans +9 versus the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Now, USC is 19-13 against the spread this season, while Gonzaga is a fairly similar but not quite as impressive 15-12-1 against the spread. Like I said, both these records are similar. Both teams have had hot streaks, obviously, to get to this point in the tournament, the Elite Eight. Gonzaga is really taking care of business at this point, but USC really has as well, and they're the lesser seed. So it's actually more impressive that USC has been able to take care of business like that. USC has arguably probably the number 2 pick coming up in the NBA draft in Evan Mobley. That guy's an animal. He tore up Oregon this weekend, and I just feel like he and that team will keep within that single-digit margin of Gonzaga. I don't know if they'll beat them necessarily, but I like them to definitely cover that +9. I think because Gonzaga's played some teams that have done well enough to win their games, but haven't necessarily been really good in this tournament. They've been winning by double-digit margins, so I think people are kind of giving them a lot of value with that -9. I don't necessarily like that. I like the +9 for USC tomorrow. Now, guys, my final NCAA basketball pick for the tournament for this Elite Eight section, I like the UCLA Bruins +7.5 versus the Michigan Wolverines. Now, Michigan, I will say, has definitely been the better team against the spread this season so far, but as of late, in February and March, they've definitely cooled off in terms of their against the spread record. Up to February, they were like 13-1 against the spread, and they've definitely cooled off since then. And once you get to this Elite Eight point, you can start throwing those numbers out in terms of who's better against the spread and who's not, because UCLA has been playing amazing, really, up to this point, and I don't think they'll win this game. I think Michigan probably wins this, but I like the 7.5 point margin. I think this game comes down to a possession or two. Um, it could turn out to be a blowout, but UCLA they've been playing solid and they've been beating teams they haven't supposed to be beaten up to this point. And they're not a team. They start early, they start hot early, and they kind of keep it consistently going through the game. I don't see Michigan really being able to get like a huge lead on UCLA up to the second half, but you just never know. This is probably my least confident NCAA basketball pick out of the three that I've given, but I like UCLA tomorrow night. Late game. This game starts at 10 p.m. So, guys, we're moving on to the NBA tonight, 7 p.m. I like the Washington Wizards +5 versus the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Wizards are pretty much an okay average 20-21 against the spread. They're 16-28 overall, which they started out really bad, but they've come on as of late. The Pacers 21-23 here, but they're 17-26 against the spread, which is not good. The Pacers recently in the last few games, they got Karis LeVert back, which he's a big time scorer for them. They'll definitely help, but they also lost TJ Warren to injury. So I don't know if it balances out or not, but I definitely think Karis LeVert's more of an impact for them. And Bradley Beal for the Wizards is questionable, and I think that's why they're the underdogs in this game at +5. But he's just questionable. He's day-to-day, and I really think the Wizards have figured things out these last few weeks, no matter who's on the court. And I think, Russell Westbrook's still out there, and that guy, triple-double machine. I think he could potentially carry them to a win, at least cover the +5 points. And there's always that possibility that Beal even still plays tonight. I mean, it's not a guarantee that he's out. They haven't ruled him out yet. So if you get that +5 and then Beal ends up being in, that spread will change pretty significantly. So you'll definitely get it at the best value. So that is why I like the Wizards +5 this evening. Looks like pretty much it's still the same, +4.5 in a few places. I probably wouldn't lean as much to that. I'd probably try to get the +5. But yeah, guys. All right, guys. So this is my last NBA pick of the evening, and this is also going to be my lock of the day. I like the Chicago Bulls -1 versus the Golden State Warriors. Now, as you can see here, the Bulls 19-25 on the season, but they're a pretty solid 24-19 against the spread. And this is obviously a brand new Bulls team, as they just added Nikola Vucevic, who a lot of people don't necessarily know, but he played for the Orlando Magic, and he's a 3 or 4-time All-Star. He's pretty good. He's solid, definitely in that. He'll definitely improve this team a lot, being paired with Zach LaVine. They'll probably be a decent fit by each other. And honestly, I can't really trust Golden State without Steph Curry. Steph Curry is injured still. I don't know if they can keep this game within 1 or 2 points or win. I definitely like the Chicago Bulls -1 or money line in this scenario, and that is my lock of the day. All right, guys, this is my one and only Major League Baseball pick for the evening. Now, there's not a lot of good games today for Major League Baseball, but this one's a very intriguing matchup. I like the Brewers money line versus the Rangers. Now, this has been pretty tough for me because the Rangers here are 14-10, and they're also 10-2 at home, but the Brewers are 13-11, and they're 8-3 on the road. So very similar records overall, and similar road to home records against each other. Clashing a lot of solid statistics here. This game's pretty much at even odds. Some places it looks like the Rangers have a slight, favored over the Brewers, but this morning it was pretty even. So, you can even get some value now, maybe if you wait for Milwaukee a little bit. But my reasoning for this, the Brewers have just a slightly better offense. They've hit almost 20 more home runs on the season than the Rangers have, and I kind of like that spark of offense with the bat. And honestly, the Brewers have pitched and played slightly better defense on the spring training season so far. They've averaged slightly less earned runs per game. So I'm going to stick with Milwaukee here. This is probably my least confident pick of the entire show, just because these teams are even, and I don't feel good about going against the Rangers, who did just win us some money this past weekend. But I think their time is due for a loss, and I think Milwaukee's the good pick here. All right, guys, so my last pick of the entire show resides in the NHL, and I like the Winnipeg Jets here, money line versus the Calgary Flames. Now, the Jets, as you can see here, are 21-12-2 overall, and they're sitting second in the North Division, while the Calgary Flames, sorry about that, are 16-17-3, which is, average to below average record, and they are fifth in that exact same North Division. So these guys are divisional teams, maybe even divisional rivals. I'm not exactly sure about that. But the reason why the Flames are favored in this scenario is because the Flames just beat the Jets last night. But the Flames in their last 5 games are only 1-4, including, they're 1-4 with that 1-point win they just had over the Jets last night, being their only win in their last 5 games. I like the value on the Jets tonight to bounce back. It's a 3-game road series, and they're 1-1. I like the Jets, being the better team here, just to come back and win. I really like the value on that number. Some places have them kind of even odds mostly, but they're a slight underdog, especially this plus 102. That's pretty good value for a team that's 21-12-2. So I like them to bounce back this evening, and it looks like the public does as well. 82% of the tickets. So guys, I would definitely get on that. So guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the show for today. I definitely gave you guys 7 or 8 picks. I kind of wanted to get a heavy slate. A lot of decent lines out for this evening and for tomorrow as well. We went 7 and 8 on the week last week for our 3 shows. Now, it did wrap up quite nicely though. Even though we went just slightly under 500, we did have a 5-2 weekend from the Friday show. So that was pretty good. And the lock of the day, thanks to the Memphis Grizzlies on, I think it was Friday evening, playing the Utah Jazz, the lock of the day is now back up to 7-8. So we're just one off from being 500 on the lock of the day. Like I've said in the past, I would like the lock of the day to be a little bit higher than 500, but we're getting there slowly but surely. Hopefully the Bulls can take care of business tonight. And guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Hopefully this is a fairly shorter episode. I don't want Monday episodes to be nearly as long, but we have a lot of Elite 8 action happening tonight and tomorrow and some other games, so I wanted to make sure to get it in there. Like the video and subscribe to my channel to make sure to get notifications for when my videos are up. Like I've said in the past, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the typical schedule for this channel, with some special episodes here and there. So yeah, guys, thank you all you sport betting and sport fanatics people out there for watching, and cue the outro.